Welcome to the Meditation Station. In this video we're going to talk about mindful rituals. And what is a mindful ritual? It can be anything like journaling or meditation or anything that is going to allow you to become present within the moment and is something that is ongoing and daily, really, something that allows us to continually show up. And it's interesting times at the moment, particularly whilst making this video. We're at an extended phase of COVID within Melbourne. And what we saw at the beginning was that we'd do a lot of things to distract, or things like squat challenges or these physical challenges, or baking cakes and then making bread. And these things that would distract or allow us to avoid some of the things that were arising for us. So different types of emotions that might have been arising, different types of past history or conditioning that might have been showing up and being present and was a little bit uncomfortable for us. So we're doing these things to distract or avoid us. What mindful rituals allow us to do is to just be sitting and working through some of our stuff. So an example might be journaling. Each morning, allowing us to process some of our things. And for myself, as an example, a few years ago, I'd work with a couple of questions each morning and each evening, and I'd refine those questions. Sometimes I'd sit with them for months, and at one point I found myself sitting with questions like, words to the effect of what was good about today and what must change tomorrow if I want to make any types of changes. So it was sort of like working around continual improvement and just general life satisfaction. And what I was finding was I was working full-time for an employer at that point, and I kept on just saying, I just want to ride my bike. I just want to go for a ride. I want to enjoy the freedom that I was getting from riding my bike at that time. And I kept on, okay, well, if that's what I want to do, what must change tomorrow? And so gradually, just continually working through, and sometimes it was weeks where you just come up with the same stuff. And when you're continually showing up to those mindful rituals, it starts to enable those changes, provided we're coming into it with a level of self-love, with kindness, and just that general understanding that we're human. And to be kind. So if I'm rocking up and going, what must change? What has to change? And there's a level of angst and anxiety and frustration around it, that's fine, but it can be quite tricky to be transcending some of those things. So I'd make those little changes each time, and I'd go for the ride, and I'd make those. And what I was finding was asking some of those questions like, do I even need a car? What is it about the bike that I like? How do I bring some of that more into my life? So consistently showing up and asking the questions with love, with kindness, daily, regularly. Because alternatively, what we can do is we can find ourselves where, okay, this week or after our holiday or after a significant life event, we want to be working in a particular direction which is good for ourselves, but then we forget about it, or then we get distracted with something else, or then So that consistent ritual that allows us to evolve and be moving in a direction that is good for the self. Might be journaling, might be a breath practice, might be regular conversations with a psychologist or a mentor or a coach or whatever it might be. but doing those rituals that are good for you and doing them consistently, showing up. Namaste.